Hello everybody, Isamu Sushi here, and this is a video I have really wanted to do for a long time, and for certain reasons I wasn't able to, and then new things got added on or, tacked on, so things changed and evolved, and then here we are on my tubular lock impressioning, tool setting, and key cutting, um, all in one, hopefully. Anyway, we'll see. But first, um, quick shout out, awesome news. So this is a Series 10, and you can see I got my old logo American padlocks out. These are all just pin tumbler ones. And then this is a wafer one. Oh no, sorry, this is a wafer one as well. So that's a double-sided wafer key there. And then this Series 10 here. And got a really nice pop to them. Still have that classic 700 sound pop. All right, because it's very similar to the 600, which was predecessor to your American 700, like right here. All right, so that one, if you want to support them, I got them on eBay. This is Brighten Your Day 23's store. They're not necessarily specialized in locks or anything, just really nice people. If you want to support someone nice, fast, responsive communications, very polite, very nice. And then we got this one here, which kind of adds to where we are right now today. So this is a Series HT-15, and it is the tubular. And I've got to clean this thing out because it's not popping. You can see it unlocks, but yeah, I got to clean it out because it's not popping like she should. And the core, you can see, doesn't necessarily return. It takes a minute, and then it won't return past there typically unless you turn it. But anyway, that can all be solved with time. So anyway, I just wanted to give them a shout out. This one was from Des94 Ball. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. And with that out of the way, I wanted to get into, sorry about that. Okay, so some tubular locks. So I'm sure you guys have seen these ones online, the impressioning tools. They do work just fine. However, what you've got to understand is all these extra silicone rings they give you, that's how you adjust tension. So if you need more tension, you add O-rings. If you need less tension, you take off O-rings. And it starts to become a hassle. And then there is an Allen wrench that holds the pin in if you do need that driver pin in the center. I'll show you better in a minute. But that Allen needs to be backed out in order to change it. However, if you get the tension right, they do still work typically just fine. But not as reliable unless you start fiddling with the tension or you have locks that have variable springs. And then here you can see the Clom tubular lock cutters. Get one of them out here. And you can see up here is where you're going to place your key. You can see right there the head will kind of come up through and cut. It's on a 7 max cut now, so it's coming all the way up through that. And the farther you back this out, the farther it pulls that thing out. And you can see a 0 is just a little nick of the blade, but the blade does stick out. And I'm actually going to explain how to calibrate these things if you have to change your blade. And then there's typically 2 sizes blades. There's a smaller and a larger cutter. It's just how much it's taking off the key from what I can tell. I'm not a specialist. It's just what I've found. All of this, take it with a grain of salt because this is simply what I've come across. You can see there's a slot right there to hold the key and allow you to turn it from the outside and know where you're at. Only thing is there's no like indicator marks. The only indicator mark is here, and typically in line would be your indicator. But so 0 right there, and it is straight. So that's your indicator right there, but that's kind of kind of wonky. So that would be your 0 where the pin is, and then you got your 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it will rotate the key inside from here on this shaft here. So the key is going to be sitting on there like this. If you have this shield, you have to remove it because this has to go over the top, or you have to just sit there and hold it. Not a big deal either way. And then you can see I've got two sizes, so obviously there's multiple sizes, but there's very common ones and very, very uncommon ones. And then I had a tool that was the 7 and 8 pin. These are the 7 pin only. However, I don't care to support this company on my channel. Nothing wrong with the tools. Absolutely nothing wrong with the tools, but I'm not going to support them on my personal YouTube channel. So anyway, that's why that kind of went to pot. And that left me with just generic, and nothing really to compare it to. But check this out. So I was finally able to get the Red Team tools. And you can see this is a quick connect version. You can see there's all your pins pushed all the way out. You can 0 them just like that. And then if you look down in there, you should be able to see 2 holes. There's a hole there and then a pin here. So you can either shift the pin from here to here in order to do 7 pin or 8 pin tubular locks. And if you look at this, it's got just a nice little quick connect. So teeny, takes up no space in your pocket. You got your adjustable collet. Sorry. Like I said, I've been sick, so I do apologize. Now, the thing I didn't like about the other brand, the only complaint I have is they put a little O-ring on their pins, which means there's a groove cut into it and there's a weak spot, and they tend to break. And then also, getting them out, if you slide this down, let me take this off so it's out of the way. You can see the bottom of that pin right there. And in order to push it out, they give you a little shim tool. So like your a pointed handcuff shim, and you're supposed to push that out from the bottom. However, in order to do that, you have to withdraw this probe all the way out, which means removing the handle from the name brand with the Allen wrench, pulling that back, driving that out, pushing this back in, remounting the handle, and then moving the pin over here to the 8 pin slot. This one here, since it's got the quick connect, basically you can just quick disconnect, and there are no O-rings and grooves cut in there. It's just a nice pressure fit. You could grab a hold of it with needle nose pliers, but you're going to bugger something up eventually. So that's why they give you the ability to push it out from the bottom, but that means unmounting the handle. With this one, it's not a big deal. So I have never tried this one. I've compared it to the other name brand one there that's really good. It worked on this lock fairly quick. And then people kind of get frustrated with these easy. One thing I can say is make sure you have it zeroed. And then the second thing, piece of advice, which is the biggest thing, is what do we always say to new lock pickers? You're putting too much tension. It's always too much tension. So I recommend starting this collet off very light, even just barely touching sometimes. You can always just slowly tighten that down a little bit and add tension to it. But I always start with a really loose tension. And then I'm going to line my pin up. It's in 7 pin mode right now, so I've got it set lined up with this 1 pin. So this 1 pin right here will not move. Oops, better 0 it. And make sure I got the rest zeroed. Let's give it a shot. So basically we're going to just rotate while we're pushing all the way in nice and evenly. And the pins are slowly working back. Whoops. And I think I gotta add a little tension. Let's add a little bit. Might need to reset the pins. Let me zero my pins. Okay, let's try again. I think I got the tension too high, but I have pins that are moving, so maybe not. All right, this one, it seems to need more tension. So the red team tool seems to need a bit more tension because I have pins moving way back. So let's add more tension, zero our pins, and we'll try again. And we'll see if I can just sit here and make a fool of myself for an hour or two so nobody will watch it. Let's see. I think too much. Here I am saying too much tension again, but I don't know. Okay. Should I reset again? All right, let's see if we can't get this thing working. Brand new to this brand, so I've never used it, and maybe I just don't have a feel for it like I do the other brand. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a little bit different. Okay, see, these pins I think are moving much easier. Maybe not. Okay, so question is, do I keep trying this or do we move on? And I'm going to have to move on because there's way too much I was going to try to cover in this video, and it appears that I probably won't be able to. All right, well, let's see. Let's see if the other one, let's get it out just for the heck of it. Okay. Let's see. It does have a washer, so I'm going to use the washer to push all my fingers down. Set them to 0. Line it up. Okay, insert and lightly twist. Oh, don't tell me I had it. I did. I had it jammed the whole time. Okay, so there you... like I said, shackle stuck, but you can see there's the unlock. Fully rotates, no problem. Okay, so it was not the tool. It was the stuck shackle and the putting too much pressure on the ball. As soon as I pushed down on that to kind of reset the core, it worked. So then I locked down my collet to lock those teeth in place. Let me bring this back, back around. There we go. Okay, so we got a working key. And then obviously we are going to measure the depths of each one, and they measure from, if you're looking at the key, counterclockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to count clockwise when you're looking at the key and measuring it. A lot of different measuring tools. This one came with the impressioning tool. And then also there is another one, let's see, that is built into this as well. But here's the cool thing I wanted to show. If anybody's still watching, so we have a single unit. There's no big top on it or anything like that. It does all the same thing. You can see right here they've added a gauge 3D printed, and they've just slid it on there nice and snug. You got the cutter at the top. You have the other size cutters, because it's just a matter of how much it takes out of the key from what I can tell. And then you've got your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for your depths. Now, what I was going to try to explain is when it comes to, I had to push this thing off to get it started. Okay, and you can see right here, this is just something, so if you have a key like this, you can cushion your palm while you hold it in place to cut it. And then there's an opening right here for the cutter to go up in when it's in storage. And that kind of locks everything in place. And then you've got your cutter. And then if you look at this, you can see it has two separate groove paths, one here and one over here. So if the pin was in the center of one of those holes, then it's the 7 pin, and this top hole wouldn't count. If the pin is right in the middle of 2 holes, then it's going to use all 8. So this gives you the option to cut either the 7 or the 8, depending on what you need. And it also sends you both size cutters included. Let's see, the gauge key, this is just a key that's been cut to a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 7. So after you've zeroed your tool, you can go in and double check and make sure everything is proper. So how do you set this thing up when you're putting a new blade in? So all the way in, that's your 7 cut, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, if you look at the 0 like I was mentioning earlier, the 0 does stick up just a wee bit. And how you're going to zero this thing is you're going to go from 0 and go one more click back. Then you are going to mount this blade flush to here. So you would just put an uncut key blank in or drop it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it didn't silence that alarm. That was to feed my dogs. Okay, so this video turned into a big debacle. Let's see, so you would put a blank in, a little tight because it's brand new. And then let's see, so since there's your 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then I go one click past. Then this is going to be flush with the bottom of an uncut key. That's how you how you calibrate these things. Now, once you have done that, then, I guess I don't have to do that. Then you will then have a 0, a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the funny thing is if you look at these, they will have labeled 0 through 7, just like this one. They're getting the parts from a company similar, I'm supposing. But you can see here, there is a 1 through 8, not a 0 through 7. However, all you do is subtract 1. So a 1 is a 0, a 2 is a 1, a 3 is a 2, a 4 is a 3, so on and so forth. Then it will match what you have here. And then I think what do they call this? So Red Team Tools Port Lock Scale. So I don't know if that's the port scale, if that's what they call it. So that gives you the 0 through 7 instead of the 1 through 8. Anyway, well, now that we've got that out of the way, Well, should we try to cut it? Or let's see, how long is my video? Oh my gosh, it's already 20 minutes. Okay, well, I think I'm going to leave it there. You can see I've already cut a key on one of these machines. Um, if you want to see me actually use this, I do not have any 8-pin, but I wanted an 8-pin and 7 combo, and I wanted an 8-pin 7 combo cutter. So there it is, all in one shot. That gets rid of all of this stuff right there in just this little teeny package. Oh, gotta line up the, there we go, in that little teeny package like that. That's it. Awesome possum. So if you want to see me actually use this and show you exactly how it's used, feel free to please leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions about any of this, please leave a comment. I'm happy to listen. If I made a mistake or if I am wrong about the scale or any of that, please, by all means, let me know. I am no expert. I'm just a connoisseur of locks. So everybody take it with a grain of salt. Take it with what you will. And this is all just from what I've learned. I love you guys all so much. Thank you to all my followers. Thank you to the 2 lock sellers, although you're not watching anymore. We all know that. And to the people that still are, make sure you add Super Trooper to the chat down below so I know you watched all the way to the end. You guys are awesome. Take care. Love you all.